New body cam footage of Tupac dying changes everything.
He got his breath together, he looked at me and he said,
As Tupac lay bleeding on the Las Vegas Strip, he whispered something to the officer leaning over him. The words were faint, but chilling enough to make the cop freeze. And to this day, what he said haunts everyone who heard it. Let's break it all down. The fateful night when everything changed. The night of September 7th, 1996, started like any other night in Las Vegas. Bright lights, big crowds, and the electric energy of a major boxing event drawing thousands of spectators from across the country. But by the time the clock struck past midnight and moved into the early morning hours of September 8th, the world of hip-hop would be forever changed, setting into motion a series of events that would leave investigators, fans, and conspiracy theorists puzzling over the details for nearly 3 decades to come. Tupac Shakur, the 25-year-old rap icon, had arrived in Las Vegas that afternoon with his fiancée Kidada Jones and cousin Jamala Lassane, eager to attend the highly anticipated Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon heavyweight boxing match at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The group gambled, prepared for the evening's main event, and secured front row seats to witness what would turn out to be an incredibly brief fight. Tyson knocked out Seldon in the first round around 8:35 p.m., sending the crowd into a frenzy of excitement and disbelief at the speed of the victory. But it was what happened immediately after the fight, in the chaos of the MGM Grand lobby around 8:50 p.m. that would set the wheels of tragedy into irreversible motion. As the crowd dispersed and hundreds of people flooded through the casino's corridors, Trayvon Trey Lane, a Mob Piru gang member and Death Row Records affiliate, spotted Orlando Baby Lane Anderson near the elevators. This wasn't just a random encounter. Anderson was a member of the Southside Compton Crips, and approximately 2 months earlier, in July 1996, he had allegedly attempted to rob Lane at a Foot Locker store in a Lakewood, California mall, targeting a Death Row pendant necklace, a symbol that represented far more than jewelry. It represented loyalty, allegiance, and respect in the dangerous world where gang life intersected with the music industry. Lane immediately alerted Tupac and the Death Row entourage to Anderson's presence. What happened next was captured on the MGM Grand surveillance cameras, footage that would later become crucial evidence in understanding the events of that tragic night. Tupac confronted Anderson, asking if he was from the South, a question that in the coded language of gang culture was asking if Anderson was affiliated with the Southside Crips. Without waiting for an answer, Tupac punched Anderson, knocking him to the ground, and then Knight and the entire entourage joined in what became a brief but violent assault that lasted less than a minute before MGM Grand security personnel intervened and broke up the altercation. Remarkably, despite the severity of the attack and the clear video evidence of what had transpired, no arrests were made at the scene. Tupac and his group were allowed to leave, and they returned to the Luxor Hotel where they were staying. Back in his room, Tupac excitedly recounted the incident to Kidada Jones and his cousin, his adrenaline still pumping from the confrontation. He changed out of his fight attire into more casual clothes, and in a decision that would later be scrutinized and questioned countless times, he declined to wear his bulletproof vest.